Prince Harry fuming at Montecito right now after Jon Stewart mocks him following his legal appeal. The Court of Appeal has mandated that the Duke of Sussex's legal appeal concerning his security arrangements will predominantly take place in public. This significant decision paves the way for a hearing set for next week, which will only incorporate brief private sessions intended for the discussion of the most sensitive evidence. The ruling, delivered by Judges Sir Geoffrey Vos, Lord Justice Edis, and Lord Justice Edis, underscores the essential principle of open justice which aims to maintain transparency in legal proceedings. The Duke's legal challenge stems from a decision made by the Executive Committee for the Protection of Royalty and Public Figures, RAVEC, in February 2020. This ruling stated that the Duke would not receive the same level of personal protective security during his visits to the UK as he did while serving as a full-time working member of the royal family. The implications of this decision have been significant as it directly affects the Duke's personal safety and security arrangements. In a judgment delivered in February of the previous year, retired High Court Judge Sir Peter Lane dismissed the Duke's claims, concluding that RAVEC's approach was neither irrational nor procedurally unfair. The forthcoming appeal, scheduled for April 8th and 9th in London, is an important development not just for the Duke, but for broader discussions about the security of public figures and the responsibilities of governmental bodies in ensuring their safety. In an order issued on Wednesday preceding the hearing, the judges of the Court of Appeal determined that the parties' opening submissions and arguments related to non-confidential facts will be conducted in an open court setting. This approach allows for media and public attendance, reinforcing the concept of open justice. The Court of Appeal judges specifically highlighted that certain evidence in this case has been mutually agreed upon by the parties as highly confidential. This evidence pertains to critical aspects such as security arrangements, threat levels, and assessments concerning the Duke and other public figures. The judges remarked on the importance of this information, noting that it would undoubtedly attract interest from individuals with harmful intentions. The need to protect such sensitive information is paramount, and the judges acknowledged that while some of the material requiring confidentiality is intertwined with less sensitive details, it is feasible to conduct most of the appeal in a public forum. Only short sessions in private will be necessary to address the confidential evidence, thereby adhering to the principles of open justice as closely as possible given the circumstances of the case. The Duke's legal team had previously argued in the High Court that he was singled out and treated less favorably in RAVEC's decision-making process. Prince Harry fuming at Montecito right now after Jon Stewart mocks him following. They contended that the failure to conduct a comprehensive risk analysis and the lack of a thorough consideration of the potential impact of a successful attack on the Duke rendered the security approach unlawful and unfair. The argument presented by the Duke's lawyers emphasized the need for a more equitable assessment of his security needs, particularly given his status as a member of the royal family. Stewart's mockery serves as a reflection of a broader cultural sentiment. People are growing tired of Harry's ongoing battles for perceived royal privileges. The comedic take not only humiliated the Duke on a public platform but also spotlighted the absurdity of fighting for taxpayer-funded security while living overseas and no longer serving the crown. Through humor, Stewart effectively captured the irony and disconnect in Harry's actions, portraying him as out of touch with the public mood. On the other hand, the government's position was that RAVEC was justified in determining that the Duke's protection should be tailored to his specific circumstances and evaluated on a case-by-case basis. This perspective suggests a nuanced approach to security, recognizing that not all situations warrant the same level of protective measures, and that individual assessments are crucial in determining appropriate security protocols. Stewart's mockery doesn't stop at the security debacle. He's also touched on the Centibale scandal, pointing out the irony of Harry positioning himself as a humanitarian leader while controversies swirl around the charity. Reports questioning the transparency and use of funds have raised eyebrows, leaving many to wonder whether Harry's philanthropic image is as spotless as he wants the world to believe. Stewart's satirical take framed the situation as yet another case of public perception versus reality, portraying Harry as more focused on appearances than genuine accountability. In another biting commentary, Stewart did not hold back from addressing the bullying accusations that have haunted the Duke. The comedian slyly hinted at the hypocrisy of advocating for mental health awareness while facing serious allegations of mistreating staff. In Stewart's words, the contrast between the public persona and private actions paints Harry as a figure increasingly out of touch with his own narrative, a crusader for compassion who seemingly struggles to practice what he preaches.